Hi there, welcome to my channel. For those who haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe. Today is the 7th of December 2024, and if I believe so, my last project was octagonal boxes, but you might see another video before you see this one come out. But I have some leftover cedar, right? So I am going to make birdhouses with the leftovers instead of burning them, by the off chance that somebody may want a birdhouse. Okay, and I have a few styles up on the board here. My first one, okay, regular rooftop with small, instead of putting siding on a building, you put it on a roof, right? That would be the type of roofing. Like, there ain't going to be, it's just going to be one board covering the other one to prevent the rain from coming in. If I get lazy, it might be just the board, who knows? But it has a rounded bottom, so that way when they create the nest, okay, it sits on the bottom. And some people put perches on the outside of the entrance, okay? Now, this ain't for crows, it's more for like sparrows or small birds, right? So you want to make the hole big enough, not too big that another bird can get in there. And if you use a perch, the shorter you make it, the smaller the bird can actually land on it and get in there, okay? So that's a protection for the bird. Now, if it's going to have chicks, that chick's going to have to come out of that hole and fly on its own. So it's either going to drop to the ground, or if you just put, instead of making a perch, you put a little terrace so that it can step on it. And if it's not ready to fly, it'll just go back in. If its mother doesn't toss it out, right? So instead of putting perches, I'm going to put little terraces on it, right? Now you have this type, instead of having, you have your rooftop and the walls are caved in. So it sort of brings the nest all in one spot. Same idea, terrace, okay? This width, no bird could stand here because it would hit up against the ceiling and it would be knocked over. But on the front, if you make it like 2 inches, the bird can land on that. 2 or 3 inches, the bird can land on that. Now, a crow couldn't lean over and pick at it if it's only that wide. It would land on it maybe if it's not knocked over, because it doesn't have a wide enough terrace. Now this one, same design, but the roof is like this, okay? It's more artistic. I'm reminded of hobbits and gnomes and stuff, and you know. And this one has an offset roof to it. Okay, you can put your entrance on the side. Here I drew a perch, but I don't think I'm not too keen on that because squirrels would get in there, right? But you can do it like this, or if you put the entrance on this side, you make your perch on the front here so they can land, and you have a condominium or a duplex, right? Or you can make a fourplex. So anyways, let's get on with it. I am going to start off by making this first design right here. Okay? So I'm going to make both end caps and then I'm going to put pieces across. So you're going to see the end of it, the end of the pieces. And the roof might be what I just showed you, those little wedges. That'll do for something else. And then what about here? We have a 9er here. Okay, so I'm going to make one, then I'll make a pattern for it. This is just slightly too big. Okay, so from here to here, that'll be my rooftop. And measure half of this distance here. Now I'm going to cut this out in the bandsaw. I'm going 4.5 from the peak down, and this is 6 wide, so I'm going 3. There's my center, 2-inch hole. I've got 3 of these already. Now I gotta do the back. Pretty big, so it'll probably spin around. So what I'm doing is clamping it down. It doesn't hurt my arm off. Okay. And I have to put something underneath. So when the drill or the saw actually grabs into this, it won't spin around because it's up against the post. what you're seeing is a rabbit that I'm going to be making inside one of the shingles for the roof, right? So I'm going to go 1 blade wide. Alright, so what you're seeing is the rabbit cut, okay, but I'm going to make it wide enough to fit a 1/8 material, okay. Right now it's not deep enough, and that will be tied up against the rafters so there's no wind getting into the birdhouse. Okay, so I got to make it a little bit deeper. Alright, so the roofing or the roof shingles, these are the dimensions, okay? That's what the roofing looks like. On the top we have a spacing of 1/8. We have a total length of 1 1/2. We have a rabbet of 3/16 by 1/4 of an inch, and that's to accept the next one and the next one and the next one, so that way the surface on that side is always on the flat of the roof and there's no gaps, right? And the width of the bottom of the shingle is 3/8. Okay, now on the bottom, to make the round, okay, it takes 10 or 11 pieces, 7/8 wide, 1/2 inch thick, and they're cut at a 60-degree angle from either side. So that way there are no gaps, and there's just a slight, on either end here, there's a slight gap, but all these pieces are tight. And some of the glue is going to take up that slack, okay? And I'm going to nail them with a finish nailer, 16 gauge or 18 gauge nails, going around and gluing it at the same time. And the roof, I was thinking of making the roof like this, right? I was thinking of making the roof possibly with an overhang, right? And here would be the perch. Okay, so that would further restrict larger birds from being able to land on the perch. Right, and we have Wait, 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 wait. Alright, so I have a bunch that I made here with that 6-degree angle on it, okay? I'm going to do as many as I can, so I need at least 33 to make the 33, let's say 11, 12, 36 to make sure, okay? And yeah, so I'm gonna get my I got my pattern here, and I'm going to start off by making sure all the ends are squared. And now I'm going to cut them all at once, but I'm going to cut a bunch a little bit longer. So that way I can do them all at once, so I'll know that they're all the same length. I said around 36, and that's 25, so I need 11 pieces. Alright, so now make sure these are, my roofings are, previously I did the rabbit in there, so I want to make sure they're 1.5. Okay, so now for the assembly. These pieces have a 6 degree only on one side. So that will be that piece. Because I want these two pieces to be flat. Right? And I have the other piece here, which will actually have the roof angle on it. Okay? And then I have these double-sided 6 degree angle pieces, which will be going as such all the way around. So I get around, and this surface is going to get some glue on it, and I can either sand it round or leave it as is. So I'm going to use this piece here. Once again, I'll bring you in from that side so you can see. And I'm going to clamp this to the table here. Most stuff that isn't seen on videos, like preparation, jigs, fixtures, right? Is it worth doing a video on fixtures? If this was a machine, like in machinery or machine shop for machinists, you learn how to properly hold parts so you can mill them and whatever else you want to do to them. And they go into detail how many points of fixture you need, in what axis you need them, like first, secondary, and tertiary clamping positions. And tertiary is normally the third, I believe, if I got that terminology right. So what I did for this, I wanted a 90 degree or a right angle surface, right? I want it to be perpendicular. So now, when I put my two parts here, and I start fastening stuff to it, right? I got 1 point tertiary. Should I have another one to square it off in this direction? It wouldn't hurt. And then even this one. So how many points of fixture or clamping do you need to do something right? It's getting crowded on this table. So I may or may not do a video on that if somebody's interested in that. Okay. I'm a little rusty. I remember some of it, but I'm a little rusty. So I'd have to read up on it. So I'm going to put a right angle rectangle on this so I can set my square up against this. And all I need to do is square up a board. Okay, so I just squared up a board. All I have to do is go like this. And keep it up against this, right? So now I have 2 points of contact. Okay? And to make this right, these pieces were 7 and 9/16, I believe. If I just extend from here to here, I've seen that before. But is it enough? It would definitely throw off the bigger birds. Like they wouldn't want to land on that thing. So they would have some sort of protection. I'm going to go with this measurement here. Okay. I'll try one like this, and if that doesn't seem right, the next one will be different. Okay, so I have this. Okay, so I cut the most of it in the bandsaw, and I used this piece as a guide to feed it through. And now I'm going to use this to thin it down and bring it to a nice straight edge. That's the kind of weather we're having. It is December the 8th, 2024. And here I am in the shop. And here's the birdhouse. This might be too high, I don't know. Once you put some straw in there in the bottom of it, I think I might fill it up with twigs and some hay or something. Right? Or I don't know if they would like sawdust. Right. Can you fill it up with sawdust? Okay. I got leftover sawdust, right? Or wood chips from the planer. I'm wondering if I could put that in the bird's nest, right? Because they're gonna have a hard time sneaking in those branches and stuff, trying to make a nest in there. But if there was something in there already, you know. So if anybody's got an idea about that, leave a comment below, please. Okay, so I prepped up those pieces and it fits really well. So I'm going to add some glue to my first piece. And can I actually put it? It's slightly thicker, so I'm going to take some off on the sander so I can assure that this touches, that surface contacts this surface, right? So I had to make tiny gussets to help hold this on there. So I am going here 2 1/4. Not quite. 2 1/4. 2 1/4. Okay, so a little bit of glue into here. Which way does this go? Okay, so there you have it. That moved. Did it? I think it moved. But that'll be the landing pad, a tree, or whatever you want. Okay, so there it is. That's the first tree birdhouse. Then the other birdhouses will come maybe in some other videos if I see that people want to see more of this. Okay. Like I have, I still have I put 5 up on the board, and there's many more. So if people show like for this, I'll build the other ones. Same deal with the other ones. Next one, if somebody wants to see the one after that, and so forth. Okay. So I am going to give it a coat of, it's Rust-Oleum, but it's Ultra Cover Premium Latex Paint, and it's Hunter Green. That's the color of the roof. Paint can. So this is the color. It's really green. I'm going to set this aside. And let's get going. That's what it looks like.